Palden, Zavelama, Rimbo, Che, Dagi, Jiwurpeme, Dejula, Garden, Chimbugone, Je Zonde, Kusung, Tuji, Mudupzaldu, Sol. I am talking to you this morning because His Eminence Yongge Mingyur Rinpoche wanted me to do so. Otherwise, you have been receiving day after day teachings. So one short conversation in this morning will not add much. Try to be brief and attempt to be meaningful. Ultimately, all of you, all of us, all the sentient beings in the entire existence throughout the space are future Buddha. And everything that exists or manifests out there, including our own dwelling environment, they are ultimately the pure land, pure sacred manifestation. So ultimately, you don't have to do anything, I don't have to do anything, nobody have to do anything. Everything and everyone is perfect, ultimately, at all time and beyond time. Relatively, which is the relative of that very ultimate, then we are sentient beings who are dwelling and wandering in the countless universes that are outcome of our own karma, concept, and perception. This is a big dream. At times, nightmare, at times, wonderful dreams. Time itself is a dream. A dream itself is a dream. How we dream right now, because we don't know we are dreaming. That is because we don't know everything is perfect ultimately at all time. As a result of that, then moment by moment, we separate ourselves from our own manifestation. Physical body, mental facets, and outside universe and surroundings. That give birth to ignorance that it is. And out of the ignorance, the greed, hatred, jealousy, ego pride, so on and so forth. As a result of this, the illusion of those defilements manifest as we are right now. Some of us have more than fair share of greed. Some of us have more than fair share of jealousy. Some of us have more than fair share of ego pride. So on and so forth. And that is what we call the samsara. And samsara is as numerable as the number of sentient beings who are wandering in the samsara. Now, this samsara is summarized into 6 realms. Highest is God, lowest is hell. We human beings and animal are in the middle. And this basic realization of the reality and knowing how to live in this is, in Sanskrit words, dharma. And way through which to be free from all the shortcomings of the samsara and to realize the ultimate essence and potential of everything and everyone. That path, that means, that lineage is in Sanskrit the Arya Dharma, sacred Dharma, holy Dharma. As follower of Lord Buddha, in the manifestation of Vajrayana, we are attempting to and pursuing to attain that ultimate destination through Arya Dharma, sacred Dharma. Now, for example, way relatively the samsara manifests. Numerable as it is, for example, with anger. When you are overwhelmed by your anger, there is nothing beautiful in you and outside you. That's how you perceive. As a result of that, you hate everything. And all kind of actions will be result of that hatred. I don't have to waste time on this. You know very well what is happening in this world out of hatred. And then out of greed. We don't know our own creation, our own manifestation. Therefore, we are never appreciating everything around us and within us. Outcome of this, we are surrounded by all the great oceans, at the same time running out of drinking water. We are surrounded by endless, limitless space. At the same time, we are running out of oxygen. We are growing in all aspects of technology and science, but at the same time, all our foods are poisoned. So on and so forth. That is how greed manifests. And the way out is to deal with the source, the cause itself. For example, with these defilements, we think and expect there is some kind of outside means to take care of our problem, such as greed and hatred. For example, with hatred, we make distinctions between our type and some other types, even within the human race itself, and fight with each other. And history of samsara, from God to hell, have complete record of it. We know, we remember. And when this goes on uncorrected, unlearned, what happens? At the end, you even don't like yourself. You even don't trust yourself. That's how many people think they are not good enough and take their own life. Even that cannot solve this shortcoming. Now, all these are illusion, a dream, and first of all, we have to know it. In order to know, we have to have means to know it. The ultimate means, I told you right at the beginning, you all are future Buddha. You all have primordial wisdom as your essence. There's no such thing as primordial ignorance. The primordial wisdom, which is ever present in everyone and everything, based on that, then you develop very practical principle or practical side effect, if you like, of knowing you are perfect and everybody is perfect naturally, unaltered, as it is, as you are, then you will have a pure feeling, pure sensation. That sensation is love. And that sensation further manifests when that love is non-dualistic, then it is compassion. And if that compassion develops and deepens further and become non-dualistic as possible, then it manifests as devotion. And that develops further, then you become the love, you become the compassion, you become the devotion. And that way, a very important basic step you will achieve. And I will achieve. Now, for this, as I told you, although we are embodiment of primordial wisdom, but we need relative wisdom that starts with knowledge, that starts with humility, that starts with openness. You have to know you don't know enough. You have to know it is good to know. And you wanted to find out that you have shortcomings. And you can only accept it sincerely and naturally and even look forward for it if you know they are relative. They are not ultimate. When I know and when you know we are perfect ultimately, then we have no problem to find relative shortcomings and faults within us. And we have no problem or ego issue or any other issue to correct them, admit them, fix them, learn from them, learn about them, and deal with them. And this is what we call Dharma practice. If it is for living meaningful, happy life in this world, if this is for attaining ultimate liberation, limitless liberation for the sake of all sentient beings who are everything to us and we are everything to them. But let's come to one terminology and mother sentient beings. Mother they are, they have been. I have been your child for countless time. Each and every one of you. Each one of you have been my child countless times. As human, as animal, as God, as Asura. We all have been everything, countless times. That way, mother sentient beings, you are, I am. Now, this knowledge naturally develops confidence and also motivation to become better. Because we know we are better than this, ultimately. I am better than where I am, ultimately. You are better than where you are, ultimately. You are perfect. I am perfect, ultimately. That naturally says, at the same time, I am not perfect, relatively. You are not perfect, relatively. I don't think you have any problem for me saying this. I think that's the reason why you came here, to receive teachings from His Eminence. I think that's why Palpung Sherabling Monastic Seat organized this teaching on behalf of all of you. I know that is why I still do lots of study. I have a lot to learn. To be honest, I can't even identify the numbers by any means what I don't know. What I don't know, even I don't know how much is there. I can count, of course, but I run out of my calculating ability. Hundreds of things, thousands of things, tens of thousands of things, hundreds of thousands of things, millions of things I don't know. And there is much, much, much more that I don't know that I don't know. So I have to learn. And I am doing my best to remain a monk. And I do my best to do retreats and practices. I do my best to teach people like you. And if not, I know how to teach, I will teach all the sentient beings, from gods in the heaven to all the sentient beings in the hell. I will teach them. But I don't know how to. I barely know how to teach to human beings. And only one type of human being. One type of human being of the planet Earth, of this solar system, of this galaxy. This solar system, we call it Chomden. This galaxy, we call it Minje, which have 100 million solar system. So only one type of sentient being I know how to talk to, I know how to listen to, and I know how to teach and learn from. Teach to and learn from. That communication also, I am not 100% certain it is sinking in correctly. By the blessing of my Guru's compassion and wisdom and power, I received some things, and I am content with it for the time being, but for my enlightenment, the Buddhahood, a load of things to do, long way to go. But a million miles journey starts with first step. Now, there's so much to say, and I think silence will give us more meaningful answer to our question, which is there already or which is not there yet. Because before having a meaningful question, we have to know something meaningful already. If we are full of rubbish, our questions will be rubbish. If we know something, our question will be meaningful, substantial. So, how to find out? By keeping silence. When you keep silence, you will hear everything, including yourself, and you will hear more about yourself. And it is not for talking about it and exhibiting it to others. Your motivation is to make yourself a better person for the sake of yourself and all Mother Sentient beings. If motivation is correct, sincere, genuine, pure, everything that comes out will be genuine and pure. Now, 5 things. First, you have to know what you are. I told you already from way I understand the teaching of the Buddha. Second, you have to feel what you are. The third, you have to practice what you are. Fourth, you have to become conversant and fluent and mature about what you are. And then, fifth, you have to become what you are ultimately. We call that Buddhahood. Buddha bless you, Buddha bless you, Buddha bless you. We have so-called New Year. It is a very nice thing. Otherwise, it will be just one long day from birth to death. And we have seasons, therefore we have years. Now, make sense out of New Year. You examine and recollect what you have done in 1 year that went by. Things that are good for you, things good that are good for others, for now and for ultimate. What did you do? If you haven't done much, don't get discouraged or disappointed, but make it a learning process. Unfortunately, most of us learn from our own mistakes. A child stopped touching hot stove after the tiny little finger is hurt. One time. We are a little bit like that. So, then we make a promise to ourselves. I wouldn't even go as far as saying commitment. These words have so many baggages with it, so you're ready to misunderstand. I wouldn't say samaya. I wouldn't say commitment. I wouldn't say vow. You just promise yourself. I will make this coming year, 2019, a better year for my own progress as well as my contribution to fellow human beings on this earth as well as all the living beings, from God to hell, for all. So, in that context, then I can say Happy New Year from my heart.